Hi, it's Therese and Lostinpaper, and this is the mood board for Scrapbook Boutique's October blog hop. And I just thought it was so beautiful, and it was so inspired by the butterflies that I thought I'd get out my Altenew Painted Butterflies set and make a fairly clean and simple card. I'm using my Misty here to stamp out the front of my card and tucking it in the corner there and holding it in place with my the magnets that come with the Misty. And then what I can do is actually just lay out the butterfly images, and I've just got the outline layers of the butterflies here and just going to sort of work out where I want them on my card front. And we all know that things look good in odd numbers, so I did decide to go with 3, but after looking at that for a little bit longer I thought the smallest butterfly needed to be smaller, so there's heaps of butterflies to choose from in this stamp set, so I just chose one of the other ones that was kind of facing the same way. It looked like the butterflies were flying off the front of the card. I'm using just some tuxedo black here to stamp up my images, and this is just to give me an idea of where they're going to be on the card front. And now this is one of those fabulous layering sets. So what I'm doing here is actually layering up a couple of different colours, and I've chosen the part of the mood board to sort of focus on that was in pink, hot pink and bright orange. And if you know me, you know that I love this combination together, so I just sort of stuck with that. Now the colours that I'm using here are the Ranger dye ink so far. So the first one, it was called Pink Gumball, and the darker pink colour is called Raspberry Sorbet. I thought they worked really well together. And you can see here that my stamps are actually quite stained. This one looks green, but I'm actually stamping this with the Memento Tangelo, which is an orange colour. So even though my stamp is stained, it still stamps perfectly because it's still a clean stamp underneath it. It's just the ink doesn't get transferred again. As long as your stamp is clean, it doesn't matter that it's stained. The second colour I'm using there as the shadow colour is the Cheese Puff, and I use the same too for the combination on the little butterfly as well, even though I actually don't show you how I stamp that out. And this is the reason I chose to use my Misty for this first sort of section, and it's because I want to re-stamp out the butterfly, like the black outline, and I want to use Onyx Black ink, which is a really nice crisp black pigment ink, and I just thought it would be better if I did that afterwards, after all the stamping's done. And by using the Misty, I know that it's going to be in exactly the right spot when I re-stamp it again, and it's just going to give it that depth and that bold colour that I was kind of going to be missing before. And I just love this colour combo together, it's so pretty. So now I'm kind of working on, I did decide that I wanted to put just sort of highlight piece on the edge of my card, and this is some Avery Elle. It's from the Brights collection. It has some really nice bright colours with just basic geometric patterns like this chevron that has some stripes and dots and squares. It's a really handy paper pad. I've used it heaps. And I've got a stamp. The stamp set I'm using here for my sentiment is from MFT, or My Favourite Things, and it's the Because You, and I'm giving this set a hammering at the moment. And I'm using my Onyx Black again and stamping the big, this is quite a big sentiment, and stamping it directly onto what's going to be my panel on the side of the card. And this is something that I do if I'm not really sure where I want the sentiment, because I want the sentiment to say, because you're the best. I was looking at it and I couldn't really work out where I wanted it to go. So this is a trick that I use. I stamp it onto a piece of just a scrap acetate or packaging, and then I can sort of move it around my card until I'm really happy with where I put the finished sentiment. And there's a few places there that I thought looked quite good, but in the end I chose to go with this sort of vertical look. I just thought that looked the best. And then again, I'm just using my Onyx Black ink And I've sort of placed everything so that it's nice and straight, and then cross my fingers that it stamps okay. I've added some fun foam to the back of my sentiment panel using my ATG gun, and then I can just line that up on the edge of the card. I often do the panels the opposite way around, where the larger panel sort of sits up and then the smaller panel's lower, but I saw a card I made the other day and just saw how I'd done with the small panel sitting up, and I just really liked the way that it looks, so I kind of copied one of my older cards that I made. I had a couple of smudges on the front of the card, I don't know if you noticed, but these enamel dots from Cocoa Vanilla Studios, from the collection called Love Always. They're glittery enamel dots and they rock, and I just thought they'd be a good way to cover up the smudges and make my card look all shimmery and pretty. And that's it. I hope you have fun along the hop today. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.